Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Marketing Made Easy for HR Consultants with me, Nick Peninsky. Today, I am joined by Mary Asante, CEO of HRi, and Charlotte Allfrey, Ops Director, to discuss their upcoming conference in London on the 27th of September. Thanks, Mary and Charlotte, for joining me.
Thank you, Nick, for having
You're welcome.
us. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, it's great to finally have you here because obviously I've been on your podcast, you've been on mine. We've met a few times on the coffee and the chat on a Friday morning. So it's great to finally have you here and we can talk about the HRi.
Absolutely,
It's great to be here. Thanks.
It was amazing having you on our podcast. So it's really nice to be on yours today. Thank you for having us.
No problem. So yeah, if you ladies, if you want to tell me a little bit about the HRi, just to set the scene for those who don't know what it is, and then we can move on to talking about the conference specifically. So, what is the HRi?
So HRi, that is HR Independent. We are a professional body in the UK for independent HR and people professionals. And HRi exists to help raise standards in the independent sector, because once you become independent, that space is pretty much not regulated. There are some fantastic, amazing examples of HR consultants out there, but there are equally sort of some shocking examples of HR consultants. So one of our mission is to really provide resources for HR consultants so that they can run their businesses better and they can serve their client base better. And also, in addition to that, to help raise the standards so that our clients, so the SMEs or companies using HR consultants, are getting the best quality HR consultants they are to help their businesses to flourish. So in a nutshell, that's HRi, and that's what we are here today.
Nice. I like that. A nice succinct summary of what you guys do, because obviously it's, as you say, it can be a bit of a wild west out there, right? Anybody can go as an independent HR consultant and they can decide, deliver any kind of service, but having those nice set standards, having a body to not regulate as such, but set the standard. That's fantastic. I like that.
Absolutely.
Well, and it's why we've introduced our accreditation standards as well, because actually we meet some such talented people, and there's a really big army of HR consultants across the UK supporting hundreds of thousands of small businesses with their HR needs. We really want to recognise that quality that's out there and the amazing work that they do. So we've developed our accreditation standards as well, which means that a practitioner can say, hey, look, I'm an accredited member of HRi. Somebody's looked at all the stuff I have in place and they think I'm really good news to work with. So I think that's really valuable.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That is good. I think it's going to be something that, people can look at and they think, okay, they're up to scratch. I can trust them now. So yeah, good stuff. Okay, fair enough. And so that's the HRi. So let's talk about the conference. So we've got the conference is on the 27th of September, which is 3 weeks away now. And obviously I've got my ticket. I'll be there, ladies.
Yes, absolutely.
Everyone's meeting in person.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
When you put it that way, 3 weeks is fast approaching. And I think it will be onto us before we know it. Yeah, so the HR Indies annual conference. The first conference was a few years ago in 2021, where we had an amazing time with, or was it 2022? Was a couple of, this is going to be our third conference.
2022, yeah.
2022. Yeah, so that's when we had our first conference. And it was an incredible day. The energy in the room, the value that our attendees got, and then the value that our speakers gave on the day was incredible. It was amazing. So we've chosen the end of September because HRi was actually launched on the 30th of September. So we try as best as possible that our conference coincides with our birthday, so to speak, so that it's a massive celebration for HRI, for our community, and for everyone else. And again, last year, it was an incredible conference, lots of positive feedback from our attendees, and everyone got massive value. Charlotte and myself met somebody a month or so ago, where the person said, "Oh, I met someone at the conference last year and we stayed in touch. We've really gone on to do some great things together." So that shows the incredible value that people get when they come to the conference. So it's going to be amazing. This year, again, we have a fantastic lineup of speakers for the day. We've got an amazing agenda. And again, we're going to deliver great value to our attendees for the day. Our theme for the year is breaking boundaries, empowering HR independence. So that there is a sub-theme which is about being brave, being bold, and being unapologetically independent. And the key reason why is that to venture, and you're doing it now, Nick, into the independent market space can be quite scary. And even if you've been operating in that space for a while, occasionally you may get the imposter syndrome. And then occasionally you may go through periods where things are not going as smoothly as you probably had hoped that they would be going. So we're really going to put up a conference a day that we celebrate our independence. We celebrate all of us and our journeys by encouraging everyone to be brave, to be bold, to be unapologetically independent, because there is a lot to be said for being an indie. You are running your business as well as servicing your clients and supporting them to run a successful business. So there's a lot to be said for the HR in the community.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's like as you say, it's more than you think it's going to be when you go into business for yourself. I think everyone sees that, though that's that nice marketing material out there. Oh, work 4-hour work days, work from wherever you want, and you'll have clients phoning all over you. It's a little bit different in reality, and I think having that community, like you talk about, share those experiences, compare notes, etc. Like that is it's very invaluable. So it's a great opportunity for people who come along to get that. So, but anyway, so you were talking about the speakers. Let's hear about some of these speakers. What are they going to be talking about? Charlotte, do you want to go first? Name one of these speakers.
Yeah, sure. So we've got a revisiting speaker actually who came and supported us on the first year. And he was an absolute hoot. I love him to bits and I can't wait. I'm so pleased he's coming back. And his name is Neil Giller. And he is a sort of a coach and a mentor. And he talks a lot around sort of stepping into your sort of strengths and pricing for your value, and not being afraid to do that, because that's one thing that perhaps quite a few people worry about when they're independent. How do they price themselves? Are they pricing themselves down because they're trying to get work? And he's going to talk about very much knowing your value, standing by your value, and pricing for your value. And he talks a little bit around what your value includes, and it's not just the sort of the time you spend, but actually it's all the time and investment and the CPD that you put into being the incredible professional that you are today. So he is really good fun. His sort of mantra is that you need to inspire before he expires. That's his goal, to inspire before he expires. And he talks a lot. He's definitely a family man, and he talks a lot about his very lovely family, and that his goal is to make people smile, and he will certainly make everybody smile, if not roar with laughter. So I'm very, very excited that he's coming back.
Yeah, that sounds fun. And what was his name one more time?
Well, it's actually Lord Neil Giller. But his name is Neil Giller. towards Neil Giller. There's a story behind that, which I'm not going to spoil. But
Right.
yeah, so he's really good.
Oh, excellent. Okay, looking forward to that. That sounds fun. Okay. But it is interesting. Pricing is one of those things that people do struggle with. Like, how do you price things? You know, there's various forums where I see, and, you know, people don't know how to price things. It is difficult. You know, a lot of the time it's like putting your finger in the air and which way is the wind blowing on that day. So I think that's going to be a very useful talk for people to understand more about how to price their services. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, and that will
okay.
really complement actually our fee survey. So we have an annual fee survey that we do as well for the sector, and that's just been published for this year. So it's gonna really sit nicely alongside that, because we can collect the data and we can give insights and very valuable information to the sector on how people are pricing around the country. But actually, if you're not confident in your pricing, or you're worrying about how to set your pricing, that data is not going to be that meaningful to you. You know, Neil's going to talk very much about how you feel personally about your value and how you promote that and how you bust that sort of imposter syndrome out the door and price for your actual value.
Ever feel uncertain, overwhelmed and confused about what to do to generate leads and clients for your HR consultancy? Ever feel like your peers are smashing it with exciting work and amazing clients while you take anything and everything that comes your way? Ever feel like posting on LinkedIn, going networking is a fruitless endeavour? Well, you're not alone. This is extremely common for HR consultants. After all, you're an expert HR consultant, not a marketing and sales guru. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be this way. Just because you're not an expert marketing and sales guru doesn't mean you can't destroy feast or famine once and for all. In fact, when you have a plan of what to do, how to do it, and why that plan will work for you, everything becomes much easier. You'll have more leads, more clients, more sales, and more profits. And you'll finally have the freedom you wanted when you went into business for yourself. So how do you get this plan of what to do? Well, watch this space. There's a big announcement coming before the end of the month. And trust me, you won't want to miss this. See you soon. Nice. I like the sound of that. Okay. Well, yeah, as I say, I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, obviously the great value that we'll be getting from the conference doesn't stop there. So who have we got next, Mary? Who's the next speaker?
All right. And who will be opening the conference for us today will be Margaret Oakley. And Margaret is going to be talking to us about sort of being brave, being bold, and being unapologetically independent. So with Margaret, it's really all about giving people the confidence that they need as indies to be able to make impactful decisions, to lead themselves and others through authenticity. And also she'll be leveraging neuroscience-based techniques to enable people to be able to do that. And yeah, so she's very knowledgeable, very warm, and very easy to relate to connect to. So we'll open the conference on a higher level of energy and set the tone for the rest of the day. So it's going to be incredible.
Oh, fantastic. I like the sound of that. I think neuroscience is always very interesting for me, you know, psychology and why people do what they do and why we do what we do. It's always very fascinating for me. So, yeah, I'll be looking forward to learning from her. So, yeah. Well, what was her name? One more time, sorry.
Margaret Oakley.
Margaret Oakley. Okay. I'm going to check her out before we get down to the conference. So, yeah, who's next then, Mary? I mean, who's next on your agenda?
Well, the next person will be Karen Skidmore, and Karen will be talking about the ebb and flow. So a new way of approaching work, time, and energy. So that's really, really interesting. So Karen's take is actually, whilst everyone is saying, oh, I have to do this, I have to be there, I have to do that, I have to do that, she's saying there's actually power in slowing down. So more invariably, less is more. And so hers will be talking about really how we can tap into this new approach to ensure that we do get the best of us as business leaders, as people, and to be able to serve our clients better.
That's really interesting, yeah. Because I think it's one of those things is, when you go into business for yourself, there is like a bit of an adjustment period, right? Where, before that, you were Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and there was sort of like, I don't know how you guys would personify it, but for me, I felt like I was plugged into the matrix, and there was somebody behind me forcing me to do things. Whereas when you go for business for yourself, you have to be self-motivated, you have to deliver. And I think that would be really interesting, how do we serve, how do we get the most out of our time, right? How are we as productive as possible?
Absolutely. And I think Karen will be talking about overcoming busyness. That is BUSY. So busyness and stress by embracing a more effective and sustainable habits and rhythm of working. So it's going to be incredibly amazing.
Oh, fantastic. I do like to look into things like that. I think about the Pomodoro timer. I use that quite extensively to be like 50 minutes of work and then a 10-minute break. And I also use nootropics. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them, but they're really good for helping you focus. They're fantastic. I swear by them.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay, Charlotte, go on then. Who's next on the agenda?
So let's talk about Julie Creffield next. So Julie is a renowned sort of business strategist, and she's an innovation expert, and she has over 30 years experience. So she's an incredibly experienced lady and is going to have a lot to share. She's authored a book called How Not to Be Broke, which of course in the independent sector is something that we probably all want to do. She's an expert in driving creative ideation and transformative solutions for small companies and, organizational leaders. And her work is award-winning, and she has empowered sort of thousands to scale mission-led businesses. And obviously HRi is very much mission-led. We're on a bit of a mission here, and so it resonates with us to have someone like Julie come along. She's done lots and lots of very exciting work, and she talks about her background as well. She's a proud solo parent from a working class background, and so she's got a passion for authenticity, and equality fuels her sort of mission to inspire and to empower others. And so that's sort of a bit about her generally. In terms of her session on the day, obviously she's a good business strategist, and so she will probably talk a little bit about that. I'm just looking for the final agenda actually, because I want to make sure that I say what she's doing properly. Let's have a little look, because I quite like the theme of her talk. So she is, there we go. So she is going to talk about, how people feel limited by time and budget, bringing your sort of ambitious ideas to market. So she's going to talk about how you can sort of have a powerful concept and then transform those challenges into opportunities, which I think is really, really useful, and how to get support from lots of different places. And some of those might not be sort of a bit of the out the box thinking, really might not be the standard places where you think you might go for that support, but looking externally at how you can get the support you need to take your ideas forward and to increase your profit margins and drive significant change for your independent business, and obviously that mission that you care so much about. So I'm really quite excited by her talk. I think it's going to be really good. It's called What's the Big Idea? Innovation Strategies That Change the World. So who knows? We could be changing the world after the conference.
I like the sound of that. That sounds really good, actually. I think strategy, well, certainly for me anyway, strategy is one of those things that I really struggle with. I tend to be just let's just do it. and then worry about how to do it afterwards. So I am reading a lot more about strategy at the moment. So I am very much looking forward to her conversation because obviously, being able to think a few more steps ahead and have that big idea, I think that's something that I will definitely benefit from. And I think, hopefully others will too. So I think, we can,
Well,
from what I
hopefully.
can see,
And got strategy. If you think about strategy, we because we're all busy doing the doing and getting on and doing the doing, we don't always spend time on the business looking at the strategy. We're kind of in the business. So it's something we talk about a lot with our members about, really taking how important it is to take that time out and to spend a bit of time on rather than in the business. So I'm hoping that that's going to sort of, be part of that conversation really.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I was just about to say the exact same thing, actually, because I think HR consultants, like all of us, I think we get a bit fixated on delivering for our clients. But the reality is there could be a different way. There could be a better way. There could be another way. And I think taking that time to have a little think about that's going to be, hopefully, that sounds like it's going to be an invaluable conversation. Looking forward to that. And then, Charlotte, there's two more speakers, right? So Charlotte, if you take one and then Mary will finish with you.
I think I've got Paul. So have I got Paul? I think I've got Paul, haven't I, Mary?
You have.
Let's have a look at what Paul's doing. Yeah. So Paul Pennant, he's an AI specialist and he classes himself as a geek for over 20 years. And he talks about being very much an early adopter of ChatGPT, one of 300 tech leaders in the UK awarded most valuable professional MVP.
Wow.
So, an award that is only ever given. Yeah, Mary will know more about that than me. She knows that I'm not the most technical person in the world, but Mary does a lot in the tech sector, so we'll know that that's a very big thing. So he's coming to talk to us about how you can harness AI, in your business. I mean, we do a lot around, helping members to understand how they can build content and how they can save time sometimes. I mean, it's something we actually do with our premium members is we help, put content together for them to share with their clients, because actually, again, going back to this idea of are we working in the business or on the business, we don't always have time to build content. And of course, AI is supposed to be an easier way to perhaps prompt ideas and to test, blog titles and things like that. So he is very much going to be talking about how we can harness sort of AI practically as an indie, as an HR indie. There's a lot of potential there. There's been a lot of conversation around, what jobs are going to go from AI being in the world. And, we have to think about that and how we protect ourselves as independent practitioners. So he's going to talk about how you can harness it, how you can make the most of it as an HR and people professional, an expert in your field, and how to, really leverage it to sort of increase your efficiency, tackle brain fog. I'm sure, I don't know whether you guys do the same, but I sort of sit and think, right, I need to write a blog. What should I write a blog about? Oh, I don't know. Whereas, actually you could think, right, okay, I think I want to write a blog about this, and it might give you lots of different options and ideas, try and help us solve some of our sort of complex HR challenges as well. So he is hoping to share his insights and help us all become pioneers in an AI-empowered world of HR, which I have to say, for me personally, he's got a big job on his hands that day. So I'm very excited about that.
That sounds fantastic. I love ChatGPT. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I use it extensively. I use it every day, repeatedly, and I'm taking a client through it at the moment. And she sent me a message the other day on WhatsApp. She said, ChatGPT is my new best friend. I don't think she'd exploited it before. I don't think she knew how, and I was just like, use this prompt, use that prompt. Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, it's a great starting point in terms of creating the content. I like to think of it as like it's a ready-made cake box, from like Tesco's or something. All the ingredients are there. and and it will give you 90% of the cake, but then you'll need to come along and add that extra 10%. So, whatever ChatGPT creates for you, you do need to tweak it because it won't be perfect. It won't be human, but it does 90% of the work for you. It's brilliant. I love it. So yeah, looking forward to his conversation, how we can use it better. Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Mary, last speaker, and then we'll be talking about the networking opportunities, right?
Yeah, so the last speaker we will have, we've talked about speakers, but not in the particular order in which the conference will be happening. But the last speaker today is Colin Ho. So Colin, I will be talking about business planning for HR entrepreneurs. And I think we Charlotte touched on it when she mentioned what Julie Crefeld will be talking about in terms of from strategy angle, etc. But Colin will be taking us through the importance of business planning when you are running your business, and the fact that business planning is not necessarily for big and large organizations only, but every organization, regardless of how small you are, will benefit and can benefit hugely from business planning. So he will be taking us through how, as HR entrepreneurs, we can unlock potentials through powerful business planning practices. So again, it's going to be another amazing session. So the conference is going to be about learning, it's going to be about collaborating, and it's going to be about supporting each other. And we're also going to have an amazing panel session, or fireside chat, as Charlotte likes to call it, session, where we'll be talking to experiencing about their journey. So they stuck with it for well over 30 years or more, and really going to be sharing their journey in a very open, frank way, so that everyone in the room, regardless of where you are on your journey, will have something to learn from that. So that is also going to be another fantastic audition for the day. And obviously, we've also got the awards ceremony. So, which I think we're now down to our finalists for the awards, which is incredible. We have some amazing entries for the awards, and we are looking forward to that. That award ceremony is another highlight of the conference, where we celebrate independence, because I think outside the HR Indies Conference Awards, there are not many award ceremonies specifically targeting the independent market. I think there's you there about thought leadership, about this, about that. But in terms of independence, so we've got 3 award categories. We've got a high growth category to showcase the fact that, yes, you can do it, and people are doing it and doing incredibly well for it. Again, the past 2 conferences, our award winners have been amazing. They've been fantastic. And some of the entries, you look at it and they are, wow, nothing more than incredible. And then we've got the emerging talents, again, to celebrate people who are coming up and coming. So that is for people who are at the start of their industry journey, probably up to 2, 3, or 4 years into their journey, making strides. So we'll be celebrating those as well. And because we are all about community, all about supporting each other and stuff, we have another category, which is the inspirational indie category. And that one is really nominated by people within the HR Indies community, for people who have been incredibly good at supporting other indies in their journey. So those are the 3 key award categories, and we are absolutely looking forward to the day and to announcing the winners for that day.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Hey, will you 2 be winning all the awards, yeah?
I wish. You see, that's wow. I absolutely wish.
Right.
That's the one shame,
Independent
actually.
judge.
The one low light, yeah, of being a director of HRI is that I can't apply for an award myself.
I do
Damn it.
think, Nick, you need to start an award, then we can win it. You see.
Yeah, we can come and win your
Excellent.
awards.
Best director of HRI. Two nominees.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
we'd
like
have to
it.
share it because we'd fight over it. So we'd just share it.
Right, superb. Well, I think that's pretty much it, isn't it? There's going to be a lot of speakers, a lot of networking, and there's going to be prizes, right?
Absolutely. So in
Yeah.
terms of in terms of networking, over the past 2 years, and especially last year, people did talk about the fact that, we want a bit more opportunity to network. So we've rejigged the agenda for the day to ensure that people have a good amount of time to network, to get to know people in the room. I mean, as indies, one of the things is that we work in isolation a lot. Yes, we work with clients, and yes, we meet up and we go networking and all that, but we do work in isolation a lot. So it's a really good time to come, to pause, get to know others on a similar journey from yours, or slightly ahead of you or slightly behind, regardless of where your journey is, form those great connections, so that the conference is just the beginning, it's the start, it's not the end of hopefully amazing relationships that people are going to build that will lead to, again, some amazing and some fantastic things in the future. And I'm sure, like all our conferences, there'll be some draws of some sort, prize draws of some sort going there. So keep your eyes open when you are there, and who knows, you might be walking away with one of those.
Ooh, fantastic.
Yeah, there's prizes.
Hopefully I
There's
win.
definitely prizes. And of course, the other thing, if you're coming, I think you're coming down the night before, aren't you, Nick, as well?
I am, yeah. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so we've got the networking dinner the night before, because quite a few people are travelling the night before, and we're going to be there the night before because we've got to set the venue up and that. So we're meeting for a networking drinks and dinner in the evening before. So there's lots and lots of opportunities for connection and networking and comparing horror stories, success stories, problems, challenges, all those things that perhaps you would do if you weren't, working from home on your own. So it really does open up that support and community as a group, which we love. We love the fact that we're providing a lot of support and building a really lovely community around us.
Yeah, that does sound good. Now I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be my first conference with you guys. So big expectations, ladies.
Absolutely. And
we'll deliver. We'll deliver.
Superb. Well, I guess that's it. So I guess the last thing to say is, if anybody is listening along and thinks to themselves, yeah, that sounds fantastic, I want to go to that, then where do they go to get tickets? We've got a website, hrindiesconference.co.uk/tickets. Is that right?
Absolutely. That's right. Yes.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, you've heard all about
for
all
every
the fantastic
ticket they
stuff.
buy at the moment. Sorry, just to add to that, Nick. For every ticket they buy at the moment, we are giving a donation to 2 different charities. So one chosen by me and one chosen by Mary as well. So sort of things that are sort of close to our hearts. So every ticket will be helping us to make some lovely donations to our chosen charities.
Oh, good touch. I like that. Fair enough. Well, you've heard it here. So go and grab your tickets. You can support local charities and as well get some wonderful contacts, gain some great knowledge. So head on over to hrindiesconference.co.uk tickets. Get your ticket. We'll see you in London at the end of the month. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Nick.
Yeah, I'll have you in again at some point to talk about HR Indies as a wider topic. But for now, I think first step, everybody get along to the conference. Bye for now.
See you then. Bye.